Hi, my name's Isaac, and to the left of me is my brother's 2000 Toyota Tundra Limited. And on my right is a 2021 Toyota Tundra Limited. And today I'm gonna compare them for you guys and show you kind of the evolution of the Toyota Tundra pickup truck over 21 years. I'm so excited. This is the closest comparison I think I've ever done on this channel. My brother's is a TRD Off-Road Spec Limited, and this 2021 is also a TRD Off-Road Spec Limited. So it is probably the closest comparison between two vehicles that are 21 years apart that I could get. So I'm excited to do that for you guys. So without further ado, let's compare these two. Before we begin, I want to thank Koch 33 Toyota for allowing me to review this vehicle. For all your Toyota needs, you can visit Koch 33 in Easton, Pennsylvania, right off of Route 33, or at their website, koch33toyota.com. Starting out up front on both of these trucks, this is the first year for the Toyota Tundra, so obviously pretty basic, even being the limited trim. This just has halogen headlights, incandescent turn signals, halogen fog lights, nice big chrome grille on here, and then you do get a V8 badge up here on the front. On the newer Tundra, it is on the profile, and then curiously you get one tow hook down here, and then on the new Tundra you get two tow hooks down here, a huge chrome grille, and of course obviously 21 years of development and advancement in technology. The Toyota badge on this doubles as the Toyota safety sense for lane departure warning, radar guided cruise control, stuff like that. And this, I mean, this grille is huge, crazy big. You're also gonna get LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights on this. And then you also do have a camera up at the top of the windshield on the new Tundra. That helps with the lane keeping assist and the rest of the Toyota Safety Sense package as well. Obviously, it's come quite a long way. My brother prefers the look of his 2000 Tundra to this newer one, but we'll see when we get to the driving segment if he prefers how it drives. Moving to the engines of both of the vehicles, starting with the 2000, it is powered by a 4.7 liter V8, making 245 horsepower and 315 pound-feet of torque. And then moving to the 2021, it is powered by a 5.7 liter V8, making 381 horsepower and 401 pound-feet of torque. So obviously, we've come a long way in engine specs since 2000, though this engine has been on the market for quite a long time, vastly, for the most part, unchanged. Moving on to the profiles of both of the trucks, starting with the 2021, one thing I forgot to mention is there is parking sensors on the side here of the front bumper. That aids if you're getting too close to something. It'll beep for you. It kind of helps in the safety department. Moving further down here to the wheels, it has 275/65R off-road tires wrapped around 18-inch wheels here. Very modern design, kind of with the black with the silver. I think that they look really good, very aggressive. And then here is the aforementioned iForce V8 5.7 badge that you get on here. And then it does say Tundra down here. On this particular one, you get power mirrors, heated, and blind spot monitoring. They're also gonna have a chrome mirror cap on here. And then you'll just have regular Toyota running boards and chrome door handles. You'll also get a limited badge back here. We'll get to that in a minute. And lastly on the profile, TRD 4x4 off-road, just like my brother's. Moving to my brother's truck, starting with the wheels, they are 265/70R tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels. These are not the stock factory wheels. We actually sold those when my brother got these were the ones that were on it, but he did include the original wheels. Very 90s design, late 90s, early 2000s. These definitely look a little bit better. I think I've been told, based on one of the comments, these might be FJ Cruiser wheels that are on this. But I've actually seen someone recently with these wheels on a first-gen Tundra. I think that looks really good, very aggressive. Moving further down the profile, you have Toyota Tundra on here, and then one of the magical special edition limited things that you got on a 2000 Limited was actually body colored mirror caps. The newer one has chrome, but
Body color was actually the luxury variant on the original 2000 trim after digging into it. And then you kind of have this chrome strip that goes down the side of the truck. On his mirrors, nothing. They are power mirrors, which I'm sure was probably crazy for 2000, but no heating, no blind spot monitoring, obviously, of course not. But there is a little blind spot mirror that we have stuck on to there. Interestingly, with the door handles, they don't do this anymore. This has just the pull under door handles. It doesn't have the full grab ones. I don't hate this design, but I see why they went to the other design for the door handles. That's much easier to grab from different angles. As I promised, we got back to the limited badge. I am nearly positive this is the same exact limited badge from truck to truck. They haven't even changed the font in 21 years, which is funny. And then there is running boards on this limited as well. That was a feature of the original back then. And on this side, you have a gas cap lock, because you have to take your key for the truck and unlock it from here. So this was kind of semi-forward thinking. Nowadays, you know, we just have the gas cap poppers inside the vehicles, or there's just no lock on them at all. But on this Tundra, you do have to take your key out, which can be inconvenient at times. Last thing I wanted to touch on in the profiles here, that is a full Super Cruise, so that's like the really big backseat storage. This is the half door one, so you have to open the driver's side door first, and then this door comes open, though it is a full handle. So there is the difference there, that is a little bit bigger cab, though you can get that in a shorter cab configuration as well for the 2021 model year. I happen to think that the longer cab looks better aesthetically. That's just me. That is going to wrap up the profiles essentially, and then this also does have a TRD badge on the side. Very similarly matched trucks, even though they're 21 years apart. It's crazy how much Toyota has changed, but how much it really hasn't changed. Moving to the rear of each of these trucks, starting with the 2000, you'll have Toyota Tundra spelled out across here. You'll have V8 and four-wheel drive. Now, my brother had an aftermarket backup camera installed here, so there is some semblance of safety technology on this truck. Below that, you have your tow hitch. With properly equipped, this can tow up to 7,200 pounds. And then moving into the bed, which is not dampened. The tailgate, I would not expect it to be for 2000. That didn't really start coming into a more widespread use until recently. The payload capacity for this, though, is up to 1,924 pounds. And then this does have a plastic drop-in bed liner. That was an option for the 2000. Moving to the 2021, this does have parking sensors on it. And then you do get a backup camera on here as well, so a little bit more in the safety department. Obviously, it's gonna spell Tundra embossed into the metal. I really like that in the back, and then you do have your Toyota badge here. This tailgate, however, is dampened. So this one also has spray-in on it. They haven't moved to doing composite beds in the Tundra just yet. I imagine the 2022 will have a composite bed like they do in the Tacoma. Moving in here, the payload capacity is 1,730 pounds. So the 2000 actually beats this in payload capacity compared to the 2021, though the 2021 has a towing capacity of up to 10,200 pounds. So it beats the 2000 in the towing category. So there is trade-offs for each truck, but I'm surprised that this 2000 is able to keep up with the 2021 in any regard.
Moving into the interior of both trucks, starting with the 2021 Tundra, we're going to start with the door panel right here. The front two windows are power one touch down and one touch up. Then you have your lock and unlock buttons, and then the button to turn off the rear windows for rear passengers so they can't put them down. Then you'll have your mirror controls here, a lot of different lighting controls, and you'll also have the button, if you've seen my previous video, for the power rear window. The entire window comes down. That is crazy. I actually just showed Tucker this feature, and he was pretty impressed by it. It is the only pickup truck on the market that does that. You'll have your parking brake right here, which is an automatic
or I guess you would say a manual one as opposed to an automatic digital one. So I do like that. And then moving up to your steering wheel here, you have your steering wheel controls for your blind spot monitoring, your lane departure warning, stuff like that, your Bluetooth, volume controls. This changes the settings in the gauge cluster, so you can do all that, safety messages, and then you can change, like I said, all those settings, the digital speedometer readout. I think that is very convenient. And then there's a button right here below this. So basically what this button does is you can set one of the screens in the gauge cluster to what you want this to be. So it's like a custom button essentially. So if you want to jump to something specific on the gauge cluster, you can do that with this button. And then you have your stalks back here for the windshield wipers and the turn signals. And then this is a push button start. And then you have your tow haul modes right here and the settings for that. And then moving into the center display right here, you do have a little bit larger screen than on previous years of the Tundra. This was on last year's model, and I did touch on that. I'll link that review above if you want to see a more comprehensive breakdown of specifically a more recent Tundra. And then you have your manual controls right here. Below that, you'll have your digital climate controls. Thankfully, there are physical heated seat buttons, which I do like. A lot of vehicles now hide them in menus and stuff. Really don't like when they do that. Rest of your climate controls, your hazards right here. And then this is your two-wheel to four-wheel drive switch. Below that, you have a couple more settings for your parking sensors, 12 volts, some USBs, and then this USB does plug in for the infotainment, and then you can do your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay on here, which is very nice. I really like the readout, and it's pretty quick, it's pretty responsive. Very nifty screen on here. Toyota's done a really excellent job implementing that into here. You have a traditional shifter on here, and then if we put it into reverse, one thing I'm not a huge fan of is the quality of this backup camera. This, not great, pretty pixelated and blurry for being such a high trim truck. If I had to levy one complaint about the interior of this truck. Moving to the armrest here, you do get a limited badge right here. It's very comfortable leather. The seats are very comfortable. You kind of get this almost like faux wood trim right here, which is nice, and then the leather on the dash. Overall, very nicely equipped. Moving up here, you do have a sunroof in this model as well, with controls for that right up there. So this limited is very, very nicely appointed. It does have a JBL sound system. We tested it out right before this, and it sounds good. Tucker, do you have any opinions of this? Like, what is your, give me the full, just get whole truck. What do you think so far? Interior, exterior, just be honest.
It's got some quasi wood, and that's cool.
That's it?
That's it.
That's Tucker for you, folks. He hits you with those one-line zingers, and that is all. Wish I could get him to talk to me. Moving into the 2000 Tundra. For 2000, it's pretty nicely equipped. Let's start with the door panel right here. So you actually do have auto one-touch down window for the driver. It is not one-touch up though, so that's actually pretty nice. And there are actually only 2 power windows in this because the back windows are half windows. They can be opened manually. Lock, unlock, and then you can turn off the passenger window if you want. And then you do have your mirror controls for the power mirror. This Tundra is pristinely clean. We got this in really, really good condition. Moving over here, it does have your fog light controls, your brightness for the interior lights in here, and then your security system. Moving up here, obviously you have your climate vents. No digital gauge readout. Of course, this particular one has 181,000 miles on it, but it is still chugging. And then moving out to the steering wheel, no controls, but you do actually have cruise control on here, which was a nice feature for 2000. And then this is a column shifter on here. And then moving to the infotainment, I actually replaced Tucker's radio so he could have a backup camera on here. So in my other job, I've done installation for car stuff, so this was no problem. I've done Tundras before of this generation. So I threw a JVC in here, nothing crazy. This particular one doesn't have Apple CarPlay because I knew he wouldn't really care about using that. I actually just gave him a magnet and he can put his phone up on here, and then he could see the Google Maps on here, which is just as convenient and saves me another $150 on getting a unit that does have Apple CarPlay. But if we put it in reverse here, it does have a backup camera, and I would say that this is about the same backup camera quality as the 2021, which is a little disappointing because this is a fairly inexpensive aftermarket backup camera. I almost might argue that this is a little bit crisper. And one thing I can say definitively is the lines on this turn, unlike the, not great, they don't turn great, but when you turn the wheel, it does turn the lines, unlike the stock backup camera on the 2021. So moving below that, you have your climate controls. This Limited, unfortunately, does not have heated seats or anything like that. It actually is all cloth, but they are really comfortable. I've talked about this in other videos with my brother. Love his seats. They are incredibly nice. Cargo lamp button, your hazard button, and then you have your 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive settings right there, as well as a clock. But that pretty much wraps up the interior over here. This actually does also have a JBL sound system in here. And then moving up here, this is funny. This has a garage door opener. Wow. So this does not hold sunglasses. It is just a garage door opener. Then you have your dome lights up here. And this one does not have the ability to fold the entire rear window down, but it does have a manually sliding rear window, which again was fairly nice for the time. And then you get decent backspace room. Tucker, opinions.
This truck is truly phenomenal. There's nothing better in this world. There's a lot of good features, he touched on them, a lot of aftermarket stuff that I've added. A lot of good things. My favorite one, the Bluetooth radio is nice, but actually the original console, I believe had a 12-disc capacity. That was really a hard choice in choosing between them. But no, actually my favorite aftermarket replacement here accessory is going to be this Glade Pineapple Air Refreshener. If you get one of these, it really just, it's a nice spice of life to this truck. If you look at the glove box capacity, it's phenomenal. You can't beat it. It's, what is this, like 15 cubic feet? Is that how
That's
they measure?
not how that works.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I can't say anything more.
Why won't you talk to me?
Alrighty, driving the 2021 Tundra. I actually have Tucker behind the wheel here because I'd like to hear his impressions of how this drives as compared to his 2000. What do you think thus far?
It's smooth like butter.
Cool, this is why I don't bring you to reviews. So anyway, yeah, it handles good. I've driven this before. As I mentioned previously, I've driven the 2019 variant and done a full comprehensive review on that. So I will, again, link that video in the description below if you'd like to see that. Alrighty, now driving the 2000 Toyota Tundra. Tucker, you drive this a lot. What do you think of it comparatively to the newer one? I mean, obviously you like it.
I would say with the transmission, you can definitely feel all the engine working a lot more. It's not as smooth driving it, but definitely handling and maneuvering is still very satisfactory.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that this was kind of a fun video for you to kick off my truck month of the comparison and how far Toyota has come with the 21st year of the Toyota Tundras. All right, if you guys have any prayer requests, you can leave those in the comment section below. If you could like and subscribe, that would really help my channel out too. And lastly, I like to do a weekly Bible verse, so here is that. Take care, guys. See you next time.
Quasi wood.